There aren't many head coaches that spend a decade at one school, let alone 30 years. There aren't many that have won over 70 games, witnessed some of the greatest players to come through the Bay Area, or have even been around long enough to be mentioned with the likes of Robert Weiner, Earl Garcia, or Billy Turner. Then again, as Rob Burns and Zane Gilmore can tell you, there aren't many like Mike DePue.
When it comes to love for a place, it's Port Tampa, it's Mike DePue. I mean, that's the first thing you think about.
Coach DePue is like, I can say, like the godfather of the Robinson Knights, you can say. He's been around me since I was born.
Whatever you call him, everyone has a name, a moment, or a memory with the Knights' legendary head coach. After 30 years, 10 as the head coach, DePue has decided to call it quits.
Does it kind of feel like it's all coming to an end?
Yeah, it truly does. We've, it's been since January, since 1978, but we've been working real hard. But the light at the end of the tunnel is definitely absolutely bright. The reality set in. There's been some very emotional times with myself and with the kids. And, I get a little teary-eyed every once in a while. I'm about to do it already. But that's just, because it kind of wells up inside you every once in a while. You go, this phase of my life is coming to fruition, and it's been an unbelievable season to go out on.
And he went out on top. Despite falling one win shy of the state finals, DePue led his 2012 squad to the best season of his entire tenure, including a 9-0 start. Still, that state title eluded him, but the memories never will.
Is there a favorite moment maybe you pick out over the last 30 years that kind of stands out in your memory?
Yeah, a lot of great ones. I tell you, one of my favorite moments was we were playing Armwood here in Desmond, and they lined up to kick a field goal. It was a tie game with about 3 seconds to go, and they kick a field goal, and it drops on about the 2-yard line. The referee looks at Desmond, the referee looks at the ball, the referee looks at Desmond. It's a live ball, son. Desmond took the ball up, went 98 yards for a touchdown. They're half walking. I think half their team came on the field to try to tackle him. I think half our team came off the bench to try to block. That was a touchdown, and we win the game. And that was pretty amazing.
We had a lot of young kids last year, and we weren't expected to make the playoffs, anything like that. And I remember we came down to games 7 or 8, and we had to beat Lakewood to get in. And I remember Mike being so intense in that sideline, we thought he was actually having a heart attack. He grabbed his chest and told me, if I go down, I'm having a heart attack because I feel like it's coming on. I think he was being actually serious. We always say it, but Mike really looked that intense because of how much the game meant. That's always stuck in my mind.
A bunch of years ago, he had a sciatic nerve issue, and he couldn't walk hardly. So they were like, you probably shouldn't coach this game and so forth and so forth. He wasn't even the head coach at the time. And he goes, the heck with that. And they put a director's chair on the sideline, and he was sitting in the director's chair during the game. And every time I turn around and look at him, I would just start laughing. It was, yes, that was one of the fondest memories.
But after DePue's final game, a last-second loss to eventual state champion Godby in the semifinals, there were no laughs, only tears from coaches and players.
In the last few weeks, it's definitely the outpouring of affection. Has been really meant a lot to me.
Has it kind of started to hit you? Has it kind of started to hit you yet?
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, every time, after the Plant game, after this last game where we won, just people, it was chaos, but people coming out of the woodwork and just the I don't know how it is, but I think some people even like me, and I don't even know how that's possible, being the surly old fart I am sometimes.
And now, reality sets in. Mike DePue will no longer roam Robinson's sidelines. He'd have to go back to 1981, the last time that happened. And that's a weird feeling for both Sean Taylor and Rob Burns, two of DePue's former players, now turned assistant coaches.
I started to actually picture it without him there, and it's going to be different. You know what I mean? It's going to be like Pops not being there at Thanksgiving and all. He's going to be gone.
He's put the school and the football program on a foundation that I don't know if anybody's ever done before, except maybe in the early 60s. And it's going to be hard for the next person to come in to keep this up. It really, really, really is. It's become normal to win now.
They'll have to find a way to do it without him. As for DePue's retirement plans,
I'll be bouncing back and forth between my farm up in Maine and down here, and then we're going to gallivant a little bit. We're talking about going to Hawaii next November. I think I want to go to see the Purdue Notre Dame game next year. Go see my kid Frankie play against Notre Dame. There's a lot of things but still want to go to Australia. There's a lot. I want to go fly fishing in New Zealand. Maybe I can write a book. I don't know. I really don't know.
For now, he'll turn the page on this chapter of his life.